Hey everybody, how's it going? I know it's been a while, but I've been doing a bunch of getting used to the Japanese version, and I hope you have too. As you can see, my orb count has gotten pretty high, and that's actually thanks to in part once you pass the 365-day mark, 1 year, the new player bonus gets reset, so you can actually get another 100 orbs just by playing with new people. So I have been taking advantage of that to the fullest. So I'm at 144 orbs, and I am ready to spend that on the next Legends Hatcher. So I'm gonna wait. I know Guardians just passed, but I held off for now, and we'll see how that goes. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. If you have been following the Japanese news, and of course maybe some of you just can't due to the language barrier, they are bringing back a lot of the limited time monsters. You can see in this banner on the top right, it's the Fukatsai, so revival celebration. So all of those limited time monsters will be coming back, and this is your chance to get maybe some of your old favorites and a bunch of new ones that you never even got to see in the American version. As you can see in the schedule, which by the way, if you didn't see it the first time, it's in the same spot. Just hit that blue button above your mission counter and to the left of the quests. And the one that's highlighted is the spotlight ones, the ones that are either the new events, the impossibles, the colossals, or limited time collabs and stuff like that. In this schedule, don't forget that the times are adjusted to your local time zone. So everything right now you see here is in Pacific time, since I live in California. So there's no need to convert times, which is great. And let me tell you, time zones are a pain to deal with. I almost had to deal with that at work, and then just saw how difficult it actually was. It is a pain. Anyway, the limited time monsters are here. So you got Daisy, who we got from the first New Year's. We've got Akagi-rin, who we just got in the American version. We've got Kokuho here. I don't think we actually got him in the American version. And you got Oregon TV-chan, Pumpkina, Nekonyanyan. So there's a bunch, and they will be coming at 5 different slots per day, and they'll be up for 3-hour sessions. And for the next, it looks like for the next week and a half, they'll be up 3 times in total. So you have 9 hours to try and max luck these people. 3 hours, 33 drops, 11 per hour. I guess that's your what do you call it, goal, I would say. But of course, I would not suggest to do everything. There are a total of, I believe, almost 22 different types. So you're not a machine. Don't overdo it. Remember, you want to make sure you have fun, and not all of these are easy. But being the organizer I am, I did put them in a nice little schedule, so you can use this to your advantage. Hopefully it's not too small. You may want to full screen this to get a closer look, but I'm gonna shut off the music real quick. Alright, so as you can see, there are 5 different slots. From the Pacific time point of view, they are at 2 a.m., 5 a.m., 8 a.m., and 5 p.m., 8 p.m. As you can see, there's a little gap in between there, so do be careful. And not all the quests come up in the 8 a.m. slot per day, which actually I'm perfectly fine with. I hate mornings. I'm not a morning person, so I am perfectly happy that they are not available for that time. But as you can see, you can take a quick look as to which ones you may want to focus on. In particular, I would focus on the Red Noel or Fire Noel, because if you remember how her quest works, as long as you bring a null damage wall monster that's of a fire type to either the Wood or the Light Noel quest, then you go into the Fire Noel quest instead. So you actually get 6 chances to take her on. Now, don't forget you need 3 fire and 3 light to ascend her, so make sure you at least get that for ascension. Other than that, as you can see, that's not too bad. I mean, again, I said you do not want to do everything. That is a lot of work, and remember, the important thing is that you still have fun while doing this. If you're making it into a chore and you're burning yourself out, that is not a good thing, especially since this is over, was it 10 days, 11 days, a little more than that. Pace yourself, make sure you have your set goals, and please don't overdo yourself. And if you'd rather have something like this where I organized it by monster, that's also an option. I also took the liberty of going through game with, as well as peeking at SF's video from last week as to what he thought, or what the game with people thought would be a good to max luck or not. And to the right you can see the 3 slots that they are available for. The ones in bold are in the PM, again in Pacific time, and the ones that are not bolded are in the AM slots. So as you can see, Tokugawa, Yoshimune, Fire Noel are up there. Oruga actually seems to be pretty good. I do believe her ascension materials were, the Christmas limited ones, so if you don't have those, I don't think you'll be able to ascend her just yet, and you might have to wait until Christmas until they come back, but at least you can be ready for that. Mary and Akagi Rin has the question marks next to them. It kind of depends on your box and if you're willing to spend the time on that, and of course do take into account these time slots. Like I said, they are 3 hours long from the time listed, so you can use that to your advantage, or to determine if it's worth it. Again, Wood Noel, there's an X there, but it's an asterisk because remember, you do need 3 of them for Fire Noel, and Fire Noel had a decent recommendation. Skull Dragon is interesting. It is a 5-star quest, so it might be a little bit difficult to deal with, but it seemed to be the most popular monster that people wanted to max luck this time around on the game with polls. So it's probably someone that maybe they didn't feel like it was worth it, but then afterwards that maybe now they've actually kept their 5-star monsters, they have a shot at going at it. Halloweena, Reindeera, they seem to be on the fence about that, but if the time is right, seem worth it. Now, Cute Rooster Clucky, I have a purple star there because that seemed to be overwhelmingly popular, and SF gave his stamp of approval there. So I trust him. I'm sure you guys trust him too. So I will do my best to try and max luck Clucky as well. She's also pretty cute. As you can see, I even took a image of her and slapped it onto that screen to look at while we talk. Aries, I mean, she was nice to use, but no warp isn't that useful. Birthday, Miyabi, Titania Dragon, again on the fence. Cybele is of course very good, however, if you remember from the American version, it is a very difficult quest, and it's also a very long quest because it's has an extra stage on it. So the fact that you're going to spend so much time for a quest that's pretty difficult could be a pretty big dampener on trying to finish max lucking her. And last one is Spookette. She's also had some popular votes on the game with site, so yeah, you may think about taking here. Now, of course, just because they say you should max luck it, it really depends on your box, right? And the gimmicks that are on that stage. Now, I've highlighted the ones on the left that are new in that we have not seen them in the American version. Maybe Akagi isn't there anymore because we just got that, but since it's new, we might as well call it. sorry, since it's fresh, we might as well call it new. So I just wrote some basic notes. I went through all of the game with articles to see what the main gimmicks were, the ones that they've highlighted in red, and whether or not the boss is a slayer or if there's any little gimmicks you need to worry about. And of course, some of them are, I mean, they're pretty simple. The cool thing about these limited time quests are that they tend to be one gimmick and one slayer, with the occasion of double slayers. And these kind of monsters, of course, once you kill them, or once you defeat them, you'll get those abilities as well on your side. But it's just something you need to take care of as you take on their quests. Now, in general, they are on the easier side. They're not a cakewalk. You can't just bring unleveled and not think about the quests. But relatively, of course, they should be not so bad. And if you've got the right team of people, maybe you can just bring a max luck party. And hopefully you have some people who are willing to help you out, because well, that's kind of tough, right? Because a bunch of people probably have already max lucked them the first time they came around, because they were a limited time monster and there was no guarantees that they would come back. So it might be a little hard pressed to find a lot of people who will help, but I mean, hopefully you found a nice community, and maybe you can get some nice farming going on. So Rooster Clucky is a damage wall one, so hopefully you have some nice fire damage wall monsters to help out. And oh, I know somebody asked this earlier, if there are any like Cthulhu style easy bootstrap max lucking quests. Unfortunately there is not. Now don't forget, if you go through the trials, you can get Sanctuary Dragon. That is also in the Japanese version, so you can get at least one max luck, a gravity barrier max luck, and so maybe that will help you choose which quest you want to go for your first max luck. Alright, so last thing, I mean, we've seen the quests, we've seen the times, but the important thing is, like, what are we getting out of these monsters? That is really the most important thing, right? And you want to get something that can enhance your box. And one piece of advice that I thought was pretty spot on is that you want to try and get a monster that has an ability plus a slayer. And the reason for that is the chances of that monster becoming obsolete by a future monster just goes down a smidge. So you can always bring them along. So I did color code them a little. I'm sorry if you're colorblind, but I couldn't think of anything further than that. But slayers are red, damage wall is green, null warp's purple, gravity barriers are blue, and I think minesweeper has a gray thing going on. Block, no block, no block and no warp seems to be popular gimmicks lately. So having one of those is not so bad, and probably a reason why Clucky here has such a coveted max luck. Having a 21 scramble, and you move around like what was it, Nicholas on the NA side. That's pretty good, and it's a relatively lower cooldown, 21 versus what you would expect out of a 30 probably. And having that Giga Blast, I think, is always a good trait for max luck, as the max luck characters tend to have a weaker ability, and by it being a blast, you're actually able to activate all your other friendly monsters as a result. So that's actually pretty helpful for a max lucker. And I guess Spookcat at the bottom, having a null gravity barrier with a slayer, a base important gimmick with counter mode. That's always fun. And homing, not so bad. Alright, well, I mean, so that's just a really quick overview. If you really want, I could upload this onto Google Drive or something if you wanted to grab it for yourself. Let me know in the comments if you do want that. But everything is in your schedule book, so you can take a look there, and you can look at game width. And I'm pretty sure that SF and the crew are doing their best to update the wiki page with all of these quests now that Strike Shot has just disappeared from the safe space, from the face of the earth. So I'll put a link to that in the description area too, so please do go check that site out. And yeah, that's it for me. I guess I did talk for a while, but hopefully you can pick and choose, see something you like, whether it's by ability, whether it's by the times, or whether it's just they look awesome. Yeah, and I will try to upload a bunch of videos in the near future. I am going on a little vacation with my family, so I'm gonna try and stock up on videos and actually try to have videos uploaded on a regular schedule instead of another 10+ day blank like I've been doing a lot recently. But yeah, and work's about should slow down a little after this week, so hopefully I can actually get some time to relax. All right, so until next time, bye bye.